Okay, we're good.
Okay, Joe, thank you. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the September 7th, 2022 meeting of the Danbury Planning Commission. We will open with the roll call. Ms. Hofstetter.
Here.
Mr. Chiocchio.
Here.
Mr. Sylvain.
Here.
Mr. Renz and Mr. Haas are absent, and Chairman Finaldi is here. We do have a quorum, and we do not need to seat alternates at this time. Before we get too far in, I just wanted to make a general announcement. Our short agenda became a little shorter earlier today. You will note under continuation of public hearings, the matter of G&J Partners Danbury Retail Management, sometimes referred to as Chipotle. Jennifer got an email from Attorney Mizuko earlier today asking that we continue this hearing until September 21st, and they need a little bit more time. So just in case anyone is on and is waiting for that particular item to arrive on the agenda, please know that we will not be hearing testimony on that particular application this evening. Before I go any farther than that, I'll just give the Zoom introduction. This meeting of the Danbury Planning Commission is being held on Zoom as a virtual meeting. Even though this meeting is a virtual meeting, members of the public and interested parties continue to have the opportunity to participate in the meeting in a couple of different ways. You can participate via Zoom and see the audio and the video, or you can call in by phone and participate via audio only. Please be aware that we may have to mute your microphone or telephone to avoid an echo or some other background noise. Instructions on how to participate in the meeting appear on the City of Danbury website, and all of the documents and materials that apply to the matters to be discussed during this meeting, including the agenda, are also available on the City of Danbury website. As always, if you have any questions regarding how to participate in the meeting, please contact the City of Danbury Planning and Zoning Department. As a reminder, the entire meeting will be posted on and can be seen on the City of Danbury website. We will follow the posted agenda as per standard practice. If prior to the meeting, any questions or comments on agenda items were submitted via email to the Planning and Zoning Department, those comments will be read during the appropriate portion of the meeting. Finally, please remember that technology glitches sometimes do occur. Please be patient if that happens. Moving forward, Commission members, the minutes of the August 17th, 2022 meeting were previously distributed. Unless there's any comments or discussion, I will entertain a motion to accept those minutes.
I'll entertain that motion to accept the minutes.
Motion made.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. The August 17th meeting. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 The minutes of the August 17th meeting are accepted. Let the record show the next regular meeting of the Danbury Planning Commission is scheduled for September 21st, 2022. We will move forward to our one and only public hearing this evening. The Bridgeport Roman Catholic Diocesan Corporation application for revised special exception, revised site plan approval for construction of additional mausoleum in the RA40 zone, 71 Lake Avenue extension, E15114, special exception number 309. Here is the legal notice. Notice is hereby given that the Planning Commission of the City of Danbury will hold a public hearing commencing at 7:30 p.m. on Wednesday, September 7th, 2022, in a web-based meeting hosted on Zoom to consider the following matter. The Bridgeport Roman Catholic Diocese Corporation application for revised special exception, revised site plan approval for construction of additional mausoleum in the RA40 zone, 71 Lake Avenue extension, E15114. A copy of this application is on file in the Planning and Zoning Office for public inspection. Parties and interested citizens shall have an opportunity to be heard at this time. Agenda to be posted will include instructions on how to access the Zoom meeting and application materials and view the meeting in real time on YouTube, and if necessary, will note a change in the location of the meeting to the council chambers in Danbury City Hall, located at 155 Deer Hill Avenue, Danbury, Connecticut. Arnold D. Finaldi Jr., Chairman, posted on city website and town clerk's office on August 23rd, 2022. Published in News Times on August 26, 2022, September 2nd, 2022, purchase order number 2022-174. Commission members, the staff report dated September 1st, 2022, and other documents that pertain to this matter were previously distributed. Hopefully, everybody had an opportunity to review those documents. At this time, I will ask, is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of this application? Attorney Beecher.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, everyone. My name's Tom Beecher of the Collins Hannafin Law Firm, and I represent the Bridgeport Roman Catholic Diocesan Corporation. Ben Dodo, who's our project engineer, is also here with us tonight. The corporation is proposing to build an additional mausoleum building on this particular site. The proposed new mausoleum is 810 square feet and stands a little over 20 feet high. Currently, there's a small office building as well as an existing mausoleum on the property, and St. Peter's Cemetery is across the road on the opposite side of Lake Avenue Extension. And I-84 runs all along the backside of these properties. If you've been out there, you know that Lake Avenue Extension is a cul-de-sac that dead ends in the cemetery property. We secured a variance for the front yard setback for this particular proposed mausoleum. And back in 1985, just prior to when this commission approved the existing mausoleum, the property owner had also secured a variance for the front yard setback for the existing mausoleum. The western side yard abuts property owned by Lake Avenue Extension Properties, which is Roger Electric. There are no proposed changes pursuant to this project along that western side of the property. Currently, there's a driveway access over there. There's parking spaces. There's an existing stockade fence along with an existing grass median. Because this western side yard bounds a commercial property, and because of the current status over there, we sought a variance of section 4A5A3 related to the required side yard screening for this particular area. And as I said, the north side abuts I-84. And in addition, there's already existing mature trees, cedars and pine trees back there, and a lot of natural growth. So any additional formal screening along the highway corridor, we didn't believe would serve any particular useful purpose. And so those variances were granted. Due to the rather irregular shape of this property and the fact that it has two front yards, Ben did a very nice job of configuring the building locations, the new well location, and the septic systems all on this triangular shaped parcel. As you probably saw from the site plan, the triangle actually narrows as it gets to where our proposed new mausoleum will be located. But I guess this is a good time, Ben, for you to sort of go through the plan. But you're muted.
That's why I was shaking my head. I do that all the time. I'm going to try to share my screen here. Let's see. Can everyone see this?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Well, as Tom said, good evening. As you know, I'm Ben Dodo representing the applicant, and here to just make a little presentation with respect to the site plan. As Tom had mentioned, the existing site, it's about 1 acre in size. It has the building on the left is an office and maintenance building. The building in the middle, which is currently on the right, is the existing mausoleum, and the proposed mausoleum is this 810 square foot building right here. The building itself will be separate and standalone from the existing one. It's what's called a garden style mausoleum, and I'm not going to go into too much detail, but a garden style mausoleum has no internal access for visitors. It's basically a solid structure and all the crypts are accessed from the outside. So when friends and family go to visit, they walk around the perimeter sidewalk, and the crypts are all outdoor crypts. The existing mausoleum has a combination. It does have an indoor area, and it does have some indoor crypts, and it also has some outdoor ones. It'll have a combination of full crypts, 264 of them, and 144 what they call niches or niches. They're smaller containers or for urns and cremation remains. The building itself will be attached with the same walkway that we have there. As Tom mentioned, we have a well right here that's too close to the building, so we're moving that to the western side of the site. And we're putting in a storm drainage system just to collect the roof drainage. All the existing parking is going to remain the same. All the drainage patterns are going to remain the same. Again, with the exception of we're catching some roof drainage to mitigate any increases. The site and construction will all be accessed from Lake Avenue Extension. Right here is going to be the construction access. That's not going to be a permanent driveway. That's just going to be an anti-tracking pad that we put out there during construction. And then when that's all over, they'll remove it and plant some grass, and it'll look like it does today. As I had mentioned, the site, all the existing parking is going to remain. The existing grading is going to remain with the exception of a little grading around the building to create a flat shelf for the sidewalk and et cetera. But again, it's pretty straightforward what's going on there. Lake Avenue Extension, which is technically a town road because it is a town right of way, but since it was cut off years ago by 84, it functions more like a driveway. And a lot of people, don't even know this is a town road. So we did make some, I had a little back and forth with Kelly Green. She issued a letter today saying she was satisfied with our changes. And you've all read Jennifer's comments with respect to her review of the project. I'd be happy to answer any questions anyone may have with respect to the site design. But this is a pretty straightforward design. This was about the only spot we could put this and tie it into the existing facility nicely and sidewalk system.
Commission members, any questions for Ben at this point?
Mr. Chairman,
Please, Helen.
Ben, I was, looking at this, I'm having a hard time understanding how cars get in there and get to the parking spaces.
Oh, sure, Helen. What happens? There's. I'm going to annotate again. The existing parking. There's about. Let me try to. There's about 5 parking spaces here. That's mainly for maintenance staff of the for the cemetery. There are 3 spaces here that that members of the public do use to go into the sales office. For those of you who have been there, there is a sales office, and that the cemetery runs with respect to making arrangements for burials and the like. The other way, there's a U-shaped driveway that cars can pull in. The cul-de-sac's over here, so you can turn around, come this way. And really, when people do come to the mausoleum, Helen, they either park in this little horseshoe driveway.
Oh.
If you're dropping someone off, there's a covered porte cochere there, a small one. Or you can actually just parallel park on the side of the road, which some people do as well. There's plenty of room there. In the last 6 or 8 months, I've probably been to this site easily 10 times at various times during the business day. And I think there was one time that I saw 1 or 2 cars there with people visiting. It's just like most cemeteries, there's very low traffic as far as visitors parking. And then again, You also have the whole cemetery across the street. If for some reason you had a big service or a funeral or something like that, you have their road and grid system as well.
Yeah, but how do you get to the parking spaces over on the left there?
Oh,
What's-
I'm sorry if
No, all of that was very helpful.
there's a
Really-
driveway. I'm going to trace the driveway.
Okay, that's the part I missed. Okay.
Right there. So cars come in this way and they come out this way.
Oh, okay, that's the part I missed. Thank you.
And what they do too, just there's a couple garage spaces here that they park some of their maintenance equipment that they don't want to keep outside, just from an aesthetic and look standpoint.
Mm.
You know, their mowers, their backhoe, things of that nature, you know, pickup trucks, those, they usually keep those inside the garage. And it would be the maintenance people, employees typically park back here, and then the office staff and visitors park here. And again, guests frequently pull in this pull off and park, especially if it's someone that's elderly or handicapped and they don't feel like walking far. They can be dropped off under the covered entrance.
Okay, very good. Thank you. That helps.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Any other questions for Ben at this time, commission members? Anything else? Okay, Mr. Attorney Beecher, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just in terms of conclusion, the department through Jennifer issued a favorable report. As Ben mentioned, Kelly Green, the city engineer, issued a favorable report, and the fire marshal's office also signed off on this project. And we believe the application complies with the zoning regulations and also your special exception criteria. And so we really don't think this is going to have any impact on anyone. I think it's a good project. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Beecher. Is there anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this application? Anyone else in favor? Is there anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this application? Is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition to this application? Anyone in opposition? Is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition to this application? Jen, I don't see any compelling reason to keep this public hearing open unless you do. Am I missing anything?
No, Mr. Chairman, staff has no additional comments. The engineering department, as Ben said, is signed off, so it would be my recommendation to close the hearing.
Okay, thank you. Well, commission members, it's up to you. Unless anyone can find a compelling reason to keep the public hearing open, I'll entertain a motion to close it.
Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion to close the public hearing and move this item to old business for possible discussion.
Thank you. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded to close the public hearing and move it to item, I guess it would be item 1 under old business for discussion of possible action. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, again, a yes vote is to close the public hearing and no vote is to not close the public hearing. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? This public hearing is closed and moved to item 1 under old business. Thank you, Attorney Beecher. Ben, thank you.
Thank you.
Again, as I mentioned earlier, and I guess I'll just read it for the record, continuation of public hearing, item 1, G&J Partners, Danbury Retail Management, application for special exception site plan approval for 1, fast food restaurant, section 5A2B16, and 2, drive-through use, section 3E5, 3, medical office, section 5A2B14, and 4, cumulative uses generating over 500 vehicles per day, section 3E2, in the CG20 zone, 1 Sugar Hollow Road, G17001, special exception 788. As I mentioned earlier, Jennifer received an email from attorney Mizuko. I just want to read that into the record. Again, this was sent from attorney Ward Mizuko to the planning and zoning office, care of Jennifer, this morning. Jennifer, as I mentioned on the phone this morning, the development team would appreciate additional time to address outstanding items. Therefore, we would prefer not to present tonight and to continue the hearing to the September 21st meeting. An extension of the hearing period through September 22nd is already on file. I regret any inconvenience to you or the commission. Thank you for your consideration. Best regards, Ward J. Mizuko, attorney at law. So as I said earlier, Jen, do we need a motion to continue? I think we do, don't we?
Can we?
Yeah, no, you do.
I'm sorry, my apologies. Can I get a motion to continue this matter till our next meeting?
So moved.
How about a second?
Second?
Okay,
Second.
motion made and seconded to continue the matter of G&J Partners to our next regular meeting. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed. The matter of G&J Partners will be continued until our next meeting. Under old business for discussion and possible action, we will, it's the same thing that was item 1 under public hearings tonight. The Bridgeport Roman Catholic Diocesan, hope I'm pronouncing that right, Corporation. Application for revised special exception, revised site plan approval for construction of additional mausoleum in the RA 40 zone, 71 Lake Avenue Extension, E15114, special exception number 309. For the record, the public hearing was opened and closed on September 7th, 2022. Would anyone like to comment or give Jennifer direction?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I think this is very straightforward, and I don't really think there's anything to do other than approve it. It's just my input.
Thank you, Helen. Anybody else? Perry, Bob?
Mr. Chairman, I don't see any issue with it. Like Helen, I don't see any reason, unless the department feels otherwise, that we wouldn't move forward with positive instructions for Jennifer. Thanks.
Thank you, Perry. Anything, Bob?
Yeah, I agree with both Perry and Helen's comments. No issues here. Pretty simple and straightforward.
Okay, great. Thank you, Jen. I feel the same way. I think you've got your guidance. You can write up the resolution. Please don't include any bad jokes. We all know they're there. We're going to try to avoid that scenario.
We actually did that this afternoon.
We're glad there were no bad jokes.
The applicant, great restraint in that area. Thank you. All right, let's keep going. I think that's about it. That's it for old business. We have no referrals for a change. No new business, no correspondence. And there's a couple of things for reference only that you can all take a look at. Jennifer, for the good of the order, is there anything else?
No, there's not.
Wow, fast meeting.
I know.
Wow.
Well, unless anyone wants to stay and chat, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Thank you,
I'll
everybody.
make that motion.
A motion made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned at 7:54.
Good work.